不要太大，不用太大。哦，那你是需要多少？必须要多少？现在是打开的。
Hello everyone. Hello.
Hi, good morning everybody. Welcome to our live today. Today it's a conversation that goes far beyond just plugging in. And we're not just talking about charging an electric vehicle today. We're exploring how charging becomes the gateway to an entire energy revolution. An ecosystem that touches everything from your home to your business. So what if your next business opportunity isn't just selling a product, but enabling an entire energy ecosystem? Imagine a world where charging is seamless, intelligent, and integrated into every aspect of our lives. That is the future we're diving into today. So my name is Tina. I'm the brand manager from Rheidon Tech. We're going to start from showing you some eye-opening numbers. I know some of the audience today are actually expert in the business, but I'm pretty sure you're going to be surprised by some of the numbers here. The EV charging market has seen accelerated growth between 2020 and 2023, surging from 776 million to 2,600 million at a compound annual growth rate of 51%. And the accuracy report notes that more solid growth is expected growing forward, though at a slower pace of around 20%, potentially reaching 7,926 million by 2028. But the real story isn't just about the size of the market. It's about the potential revenue streams expanding far beyond traditional charging models. We're talking about energy storage, grid services, smart home integration, so much more.
I think we are having some technical issues. Please bear with us for a while.
Yeah. We're gonna be back in 5 minutes. And that is that mic. I already turned that off. It might be the best.有可能我们把这个 unplug 掉是最好的。
对，我们就直接用这个好了。
有可能不需要这个是最好的。
你想的剩下，把电脑给弄好。
Yeah. Okay. Let's see how the technology is working right now. Hopefully, it works for the best, right? So to help us navigate the exciting landscape, we have two incredible guests who are at the forefront of the revolution. First, let's welcome Joe, the CEO of Rheidon Tech, a pioneer in user-centered charging solutions.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
And thank you for joining us today. Still? Yeah. Okay.
Just a second.
Could it be that one just not working? 因为我们有3个电脑在同一个里头，然后你 share 的那个，呀，我觉得可能用那个都不行，今天，也许只能用电脑来直播了。因为是在嵌套嘛，相当于我们是在用 YouTube Live 去做那个，对吗？那么
我换过来用一台电脑，然后把那个关掉。
Yeah。
在谁的电脑上先开的直播，谁在看电脑上？
那就
我去那个。你在这边还是
我把我这边的。
Just a second.
No， 不对，不是你去那边，是把那个直接就关掉，我们就只用这一个电脑。
好，可以。V2。
OK， 你可以哪里？你就是，然后我作为这种，只要串就可以了。然后我们把那个直接就全部关掉了。Okay.
Hello.
So we just introduced Joe, our CEO from Rheidon Tech. I hope the echoing is not disrupting everybody from hearing his name. Yeah? Okay, that's good. Awesome.
So finally.
Yeah, finally. Sorry, everybody, for the glitch. It is really not we're expecting.
I think there was something I always complain whenever we were having a meetings or something. The projector is the thing that I always complain about. And then I really wish somebody can come up with a new projector that's so easy to use, intuitive, and plug and play.
The experience is all about experience. Just as our charger, as always. So next, let's welcome Jordan, product manager at a leading luxury Chinese EV brand. Although we cannot say who, but you can take a bold guess. He will enable us to understand EV owners' changing needs from the perspective of user behaviors, and we're so excited to have you join us today.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here today.
Great.
Yeah, actually, it's a night in China.
Yeah, it's we all know how Chinese work, so, and I think all of our viewers understand. Yeah, okay. So for all the viewers who are watching right now, we'll keep our comment section open throughout the entire section. So feel free to drop your questions in the comments at any time. Our experts today will be reviewing this between each section, and we will do our best to address as many of your questions as possible, okay? So now let's dive deeper into these user behaviors, especially focusing on how V2X, solar integration, and smart energy management are reshaping user expectations. And we have an interesting approach planned. Jordan, we hope you can kick things off by sharing the key challenges EV owners are experiencing with home charging, because we know, what kind of industry you are working at, and we're pretty sure you can give us a ground level view of, the user frustrations and experiences. And then Joe, our industry expert here, you're the best person here to help us understand whether the industry is actually prepared to address any of these challenges. We're looking for practical insights into how technology and innovation can solve real-world user pain points. So, Jordan, the floor is yours. You can start by introduce us to, some of the main struggles EV owners are currently have when it comes to charging at home.
Yes, of course. So if you really look at users' behaviors regarding charging, I think the most driving point is about cost. But be careful about this. I'm not talking about the cost of buying a car, but the users are really care about the cost of charging itself. So although we know that well, usually for EV, the average selling price is normally higher than a normal incubation vehicle, but even though the users are willing to pay, let's say, higher for the cost, but they are less willing to pay on the energy. So which means that the EV user really prefer to have their home charging system at their home, right? Which means lower cost.
That's right. To be very honest, I have been an EV driver for quite a number of years. Although I would love to pay a premium for a good EV, but whenever I do the charging, I would go ahead and do the calculation. How much am I going to spending on the charging this time? And then I have some friends. I don't know whether you guys will have similar experience. I have some friends who bought expensive EV, luxury EV. Some of them actually bought the EV from your company, Joe Lin, and then well, he spent, that's enormous amount of money on the EV, but then he will come and show off to me, look, I don't have to pay for this charging this time because my EV company is covering for that bill. So to that extent, we think that home charging actually plays a part in it, helping the EV owners to optimize the cost in a way.
Exactly, fully agree. So it really, if you look at the total, the way the user to charge their vehicles, we actually found that the home charging base, or the rate or percentage of the home charging is getting increased, and it's again about the cost. So maybe in China, or let's say especially in China, we have quite a lot of public charging facilitators in around the city, but usually the cost is relatively higher, although it's already quite lower compared to the normal diesel or but still the users really care about each penny they spend. So also I have a lot of user insights or user cases that the users are really willing to drive even 3 kilometers away just to find a station which provided lower electricity rates
for charging.
So yes, for charging. So that's why we really think like turning the home charging system, to be more popular. That is a key for the success of the EV.
Yeah, that is why when we are building an EV charger, it is so important that we put this in our consideration, knowing that even though charging at home is already cheaper than public charging, but yet there are many EV owners that would actually look for a further cost saving. Let's say some of the technologies we are looking for is how do we communicate with the solar system so that we can actually use the solar energy to charge, or previously it is commonly available already in the market that delay charging or timer setting, something like that, so that the customer, when they arrive home, knowing that after 10 p.m. the cost of electricity will be cheaper, then you can say regular charger can do that already. But then we receive so many requests from the market saying, hey, I have a solar panel at home. How do I charge my EV while my solar is producing more and more energy? Because right now they're experiencing negative electricity price, and then whenever there is some especially in Germany, if you allow the solar electricity go out to the grid, they will actually charge you money. How do I maximize my charging capability during that time? So that enable on the other way also requires us to develop some charger that will communicate with the solar, understand the solar situation, and then increase the charging power during that time.
Exactly. So cost is definitely our primary consideration when designing the charger. We're glad that we align on this perspective, even though we're working on different industries right now. So apart from the charging costs, what other user experience challenges are you seeing right now?
Besides of cost, we still see there's a big concern regarding the range anxiety. So users keep, concerning about their range out of EV. Although we know that right now each EV company are competing with all their competitors by providing a bigger and bigger volume of battery, right? And also quite a lot of EVs, let's say OEMs or suppliers, they are even providing the charging system by themselves as well with the supercharging system. But even though compared to the normal gas station, quite a lot of users, or let's say a normal user which not get used to EV, they have real concern about the range. They have always worried about how battery system works and how can I charge my EV as fast as possible and as convenient as possible, right? So we also had the insights that quite interesting. If you drive a normal incubation car, you never care about the system, the efficiency, the system works. You just drive, right? But when a user buy an EV, they are kind of becoming kind of scientists in, I don't know, in energy. They are quite familiar and they care about a lot about the 90 kilowatts or let's say 130 kilowatts. The higher number, the better it is. So the higher number maybe can make them feel much, much better. That's the interesting thing. And this is a constant challenging across the industry.
Well, we just earlier there was another EV brand, your direct competition, Joe Lin. One of the EV players in the market just announced a million watt charger.
Yes.
And then it's it is an endless game that it looks. I think it's already faster than pumping a gas. And for us, the way that I see it personally is that EV chargers, they do have the range anxiety thing, and I actually have a similar discussion with one of your colleagues, Joe Lin, about how do they see the biggest pain point of EV owner. They said range anxiety. Then I said, right now, there are a few ways to address the range anxiety in the market. Number one, make the charging as fast as possible. Like what you said, make it from 90 kilowatt to 130 kilowatt, even to a million, 1,000 kilowatt. And then knowing that your company or one of the biggest company in the EV market is that they also offer the battery swap technology. That is a very good way also. And from the third way that we see it is a good charging system, not only the other way to address the range anxiety is to charge your EV when you don't use it. So that's where the home charging system offer a game changer to the market. So personally, when I drive my EV regularly, the thing I do is the moment I arrive home, I would just plug in the charger I have at home and then wake up in the morning with a full charge and drive away. I think that's very convenient for me. But in some cases, people do still concerned about, what if I drive a long distance and everything. That's where the public charging, water cooling system and battery swap kicks in.
So I think we can draw the conclusion here that private charging system and the public charging system, they're not necessarily competitor.
No,
they're more complementary.
They should always coexist, I guess.
Yes, the range anxiety will always be there. It will be there for a couple of years, I guess. But I think luckily we've already have better and better private charging solutions right now to with the fast charging stations to calm down the users a little bit more. So
but what, Joe Lin, would you like to add on to battery swap?
Well, I think you're getting a bit too much.
It's very obvious already.
Okay.
I agree with your principle. And there will not be a dominant way. There will always be a multi-way on the market, right? So it's not competing with each other. The whole system is getting stronger or more convenient by adopting different ways of charging. This is my I believe not all the OEMs can providing a battery swapping system, but it will be a nice a way of charging, but it will not, let's say, how do I say like this? A home charging system is a plug-in. It's a plug on based on that.
Yeah. I think to having said, while we are having this conversation, that I think just popped into my head was there are 3 ways of charging your putting more energy in your car: public charging, battery swap, and home charging. And what's the best EV? The best EV would enable you to have the 3.
Of course, unless the car from my company. That's the only car from my company.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Let's move on to the next one. I know, one of the main tasks, Jordan, you do at work is probably to, observe the very details of user behaviors. And I'm pretty sure you have some more to share about the very detailed things about how the users like, what user hates.
Yeah. We really would like to know, because usually the EV companies are the one who's spending most money in the world to research. Yes. And then, please share with us some valuable inputs about EV owners.
You are absolutely right now. Given the competition, we really did quite a lot of research or study regarding the users' normal behaviors.
Yep.
Even we're talking about the charging, let's say, procedure. Joe just mentioned that for he just, when he arrived home, he just parked his car, parked his EV, and he put his charging, let's say, charging gun into his charging port. But even let's say the description is such simple. If we look into the details, there are quite a lot of there are quite a lot of experienced charging points we need to consider. For example, now the EVs are getting more and more popular, and we found that quite a lot of users are ladies, right? And
really? Do you have a number saying which percentage of EV owners are ladies?
It depends on the the different tiers of the vehicle, but I can share the number to you. So from also again from my company, we have a tier of a sedan, which is targeting to a very young generation, and we really found that around even more than 45% of the of the buyer are, let's say, of females or ladies, right? Because they are not driven, at this case, they are not really driven by the technology, but they are driven by maybe by the good looking design, by the lifestyle, or by the in general intelligent system we built. Okay, that's another way. But given this case, let's say if you consider about the charging procedure, we really look into the details. For let me show some example. Usually the charging port out of the vehicle. Right now, based on our latest EV design, we always prefer the very pure design. So it means that there's not a button on the body of the port.
No.
So how can you open the port, especially by a girl or a lady?
Yeah.
They are not really get used to all the whole system work. So they want a way to to open the charging port really easily or smoothly. And again, talking about the charging cable, it's not a charging cable is not like a normal charging cable out of our mobile phone, right?
No.
So usually the charging cable is really heavy and thick, right?
Yeah.
And even in China, we already see some cases that the charging cable is too hard or too stiff enough to hurt the people. So we also need to consider about how we place the charging cable, how we make sure the charging cable is easily to unplug it and to be easily plugged in.
Yeah.
So this is also quite a lot of consideration points we need to consider for product design. In general, we think the charging procedure must be as simple as possible and as convenient or as easy as possible.
That's very true. Speaking of the cover for the charging port, I while you're talking about it, reminds me that even in there are many offers in the market. When I was driving an EV in Europe, I saw that most of the charging port cover, they are still mechanical design. So like a push, then you will feel the mechanical reaction, then it will open by itself. However,
Yes.
there are many EVs available in some of the markets. It is let's say this is the charging port cover, right? You use your hand to slide on the top, and then the charging port does not open like this. It will slide open like this elegantly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So well, how do you say? Yes, the customers are always lazy. That is why while we are designing our EV charger, we really emphasize on the word plug and play, intuitive. I don't know, it's too early to bring up our product, but I really would like to say that, while we are doing market research, but of course we don't spend as much money as Joe Lin's company spending in Europe, but we did interview 1,000 EV owners in Europe, and then we realized that there are a few offers of portable charger in the market. Some of them comes with one button, some of them comes with two buttons. And then we receive a lot, we realized there were a lot of complaints on the one button portable charger, because there was one customer said that if he want to adjust the current, he had to push the button 5 times, 3 times is short push, and then 2 times is long press, and it really confused him. And then the 4-button one is even worse. And then he was some customer were complaining, I don't really understand what the other buttons are doing. That is why when we design our chargers, we put 3 buttons on it. Each one has a different type of shape, very intuitive. And then the moment you get on puts on your hand with the simple and very easy to understand symbol on it. We have tested with many customers. They don't even have to look at the manual. They know exactly how to manipulate it already. So yeah, bringing back to the subject that yes, the customers are always looking for something more intuitive and yeah, easy to use.
Joe, I really like. I want to interrupt you, and I also want to correct myself. I think you're really touching the right point. The design or the procedure must be intuitive.
Yes.
So smart or easy is really a general description. I like the summarize you make, intuitive. So because we have faced different kind of users. Lately, we just example we face, right? Maybe in Europe, quite a lot of elder people use that, right? They are more get used to, or let's say, mechanical things, right?
Yes.
So the system or the product you design must be intuitive for everyone, each people, no matter who is old, who is experienced, or who is really a new guy who get to face that, or to just get in touch with your product. He can understand the products and know how to use that. Maybe in 1 second. That would be the biggest success point from let's say user experience
perspective. Yeah. I think we should add this one to our product development. Whenever we design a product, we should immediately send to a customer, and without giving him the user manual, and ask him, how do you use it?
Right.
that might be a good way to test
Let me say that actually a great product it can be without instruction. A great product can tell the function by itself. That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way to look at it. What I would like to emphasize also, I think, Jobin and us, we are creating products, even though it's so simple to use, but actually brings in a lot of difficulty in designing and building the product.
Exactly.
Yes.
But again, it's only because of those demands in the market that push us to do better and better product. And that's how we serve the EV owners.
I think really what really aligns here is, Jordan, your job is focusing on experience, literally experience, and us also. We really think what sets us apart from other products is the experience.
Yeah.
Sometimes experience is really just tiny things around the products. And just as Joe said, the more intuitive the product can be, it actually means more difficult we have to solve during the development so that we can solve the problems for the audience, for the users.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yes, I think it's great insights.
Yeah.
And I want to bring up something that I observed here in China compared to in Europe. I think it's going to be a trend in Europe too in the future, is that camping is actually already part of the EV lifestyle here in China. And I think, Jordan, you have a lot to say about that.
Well, before
Yes.
Jobin a comment on that, I would like to bring a point that I observed. I realized that most of the EVs in China are already supporting camping, but not many EVs in Europe, they are supporting, let's say, discharging function yet. I would like to know why also. Yeah.
I'm not really sure about that, but one major, actually it's not a trend, it's already a phenomenon, or it's already a fact that camping is really, really important. And the audience might be very curious why, right? But we actually also did quite a lot of research. So the user buy EV, it doesn't mean that they really like a fan of camping or they are expert of camping. You guys may know like the lifestyle in China, right? We are all busy in work. So the camping consideration about camping is about their wandering of their life. Although they might not, don't have enough time to go for spend a whole weekend of camping on outdoor, but they really think, hey, we have the wish, we have the we can always imagine about on that. So it's kind of strange, right? So if you really look into the real behaviors, the percentage of users that really use the EV to go for camping is actually rare. Let's say less than 5% of the total range. But if they want to buy a car, if they really buy a EV, they're really thinking about, besides of commuting, besides of traveling, camping is really a big consideration.
Yeah,
exactly. It's a kind of an attraction factor. They can really think about how better their life could be.
Do you have a number that you can share with us? You mentioned that 5% of the EV owners would actually go out to do camping. Do you have another number? Is you were saying camping as a consideration in buying an EV?
Oh, let's say we have I don't have a very exact number, but let's say 30% of all the consideration factors, are related to the camping. So the camping is not about driving to a distant places. You also always think about how you design the products like EV to fulfill all the camping needs, such as you need to always you can change your EV to kind of a bedroom. So you need to unfold your seats to be a bed, right?
Yeah.
And you also need to change your EV as to be a kind of kitchen, right?
Yeah.
If you have a kitchen, you need to have a home appliance, you need to have cooker. And all of this, you need to use power, electricity.
Yeah.
So just as you mentioned, the discharging out in the system is also quite an important thing especially a consideration for the product design.
Understand. Yeah, that I think we realized these demands in the market also. That is why last year in Munich, Power to Drive exhibition, we launched our first EV charger that allows customer to draw power from the EV while they're doing camping. I think we at that point we didn't realize how important it is, but right now that you talk about it, we realize actually it's a must in the market. Even though there are some old EVs that may not support it, but I do agree with you that it is a must in the market, and then EV buyers are heavily considering a camping enable EV to support their lifestyle.
You are right. Actually, you just mentioned that point that it's we have an early generation of our products actually didn't support the discharging system, the functionality, but we let's say we received quite a lot of user feedbacks regarding this. So we even developed aftermarket accessories to support this function.
I see.
And, yeah,
I noticed that product also.
Yeah, you bought that, right?
No, I didn't buy that one. That's too expensive. But speaking of discharging, I would like to bring up the other point also. It is just because the camping is a must and demand from the market that then the EV support discharging function. We realized that there is another potential possibility in the future is the EV owners can actually use the EV to power their home, which is what we call as V2X.
Yes.
Yeah, and that right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that is
I never
something.
imagined that.
Yeah, that's well, see again, it is not a must right now, and then they may not really use it that often. But imagine whenever there is a hurricane drop by, your house is ran out of battery, and you would like to have some essential things on, for example, the lighting, the alarm system, and everything. And that is big. And at that time, you already have a very good EV, and it support power share discharging. Why don't you use your car to power part of your house? So I think that's meaningful. You may not use it, but it's like camping. You may not use it, but you really would like to have it. So that's why we have the next generation of product that we're launching in the coming exhibition in Munich that will support customers to do V2X, as in use your vehicle to power your house in May.
I think it's a great time for me to bring up some context here to Jordan, and also I think that will be something that our audience from especially Europe could echo a lot. Is that the demand for the V2X function definitely differ based on the living situation of different countries. So I think Joe, you've done a lot of research in terms of this, and we're pretty sure you get these results from some solid research in Germany.
Yeah, of course not. Again, the budget is not as quick as Jobin's company. We have done some research, and we have actually received very good feedbacks from the market with our first few prototype to the market. And also to share, because most of the audience are actually our friends and business partners. I would like to share a very exciting news that one of the major media from Germany just contacted us asking for a power share sample because they would like to see how it goes. They really and are we allowed to talk about this media?
That's something I'm not sure right now.
Okay, probably later. So this is the biggest what do you call it, automobile media?
Yes.
And then
the mainstream one. We will say in Germany.
In Germany, and then they really have a lot of influence in the market. If they are looking into this type of technology, I believe this type of technology, as in this type of EV charger, enabling power sharing, discharging function, V2X, would definitely have a future. Yeah. So again, back to you were asking the research. Well, we have done a lot of research, but again, not as big budget as Jobin, but we found the same thing, as in there are many little details. If as product people, if you pay so much attention to it, then you will actually bring out something together for the customer to solve something that they in their daily life. One example is while we were developing this charger, the WB500, the wall box, I visited a couple of my connections house. I told them I really would like to see how you guys park your car. Then it's at that point I realized whenever they park their car in their garage, I noticed in their garage is full of a lot of I wouldn't call it rubbish, but unnecessary stuff. And then it's also at that time I realized they don't have a big garage if you park indoor. And then there was one friend. He one connection. He's a big size person. And then after he parked his car, I asked him, "Can you demonstrate to me how do you charge your EV?" Then he had to find a way to pass between the charger and his EV to go to the other side and do something first. It is at that point I realized actually size does matter to them also. And it is those research and market survey that enable us to do things differently. That is why we developed this product that's the thinnest charger in the market, 6.7 cm. And on top of that, we realized during our market research, the customers actually what they want is not there is an old business joke is when the customer come in and buy a hammer, are they buying a hammer? No, they are buying when the customer come in and buy a drill, what they are buying, are they buying a drill? No, they're not buying a drill. They are buying a hole. They want to put a hole on the wall. So when the customer buying a charger, are they buying a charger? No, they are not buying a charger. They would like to put energy into their EV. So it is at that point we realize EV chargers should do more than that to attract the customer. That is why in this product we put in a digital calendar. We even put in a flexible torch, which will enable customer to do multiple things in their garage. I will come to the product part later. It's not the selling part yet.
So I think we can safely draw the conclusion that Jordan, it's also always your companies think that you raise the standards too high.
You guys raise the standards.
The EVs are too good.
Yeah.
The EVs are too good. The users are getting used to the intelligent system, the seamless experience. That is also why we have to upgrade those stuff, right?
Yeah.
And just going back to the part you mentioned that a lot of your users right now in China is actually women, girls. They focus on not only functions. We're talking about looks now. So I think you
not only the woman. I guess the man would care.
Manly style too.
Yeah,
for sure. So I think this is also the part we could discuss a little bit.
How important is the look? Tell us.
Top number one.
Oh,
really?
Wow,
especially I'm just talking about our key users. So the biggest motivation of buying our brands of companies EV, the biggest motivation is about the nice design. So the nice design is also key competitors. Let's say a key competition success factors besides of technology. Besides of the 1,000 watts you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And this chip is a key differentiator of out of the really tough competition out of in China market, right? So design, and it's not about of course I'm not the products who design doing the drawing, but we have a sense of design that we always need to design a holistic design. So it means that you need to design not only the exterior light design, you also need to make sure your design theme matches well with your interior design.
Exactly.
And not only on this, all about accessories. So if you're really looking into, I think Joe, you that, right? So if we are not only selling a car itself, we are only selling kind of ecosystem, including quite a lot of accessories. And all these accessories needs to be designed in a same way, or same thing, and the same feeling of aesthetic. So this is quite important, and this kind of aesthetics will end up with each other. Only one thing has nice looking, ties another to another three. Then you make the whole field of aesthetic to be a key successing factors.
I think a few years back, if we talk about EV, a lot of people are still talking about. Of course, we are not ignoring it, but at that time, a lot of people are talking about environmental friendly, how it is, protecting the environment and everything. I realize now that the EV companies, they don't talk about it anymore. I think right now, I think right now they
No,
do realize.
we still talk about that, but
They
you
talk
know,
about,
maybe
only talk
maybe
about.
not. No, we care about that, but let's say our users really care maybe less than that.
Yeah, you're right. And for we also realized this problem but we didn't get it that straightforward. And the intention of our design, let's put it, I mean, the Rheidon's EV, even our packaging and everything, we didn't think in that way perspective. We didn't know at that time. We didn't know. Look is the first priority of EV owner. At that time, the simple motivation from us is that we would like to build a charger that matches the EV. Because whenever you buy a good EV, I don't want an ugly, bulky charger at home. I would like to have a stylish, the moment I look at it, that reminds me of my nice, good-looking EV. So that is why we emphasize design so much. We pay so much attention to it. And also for our packaging, I would like to emphasize that, it's right behind us, that we really put a lot of attention to design, because we do know now that the EV owners are the type of people that they have a taste and they put the look on top of everything else. Yeah, thank you for verifying that with us. Yeah,
I definitely think what Jordan says just now confirmed whatever our hypothesis was.
Yes.
And I also remember when Joe first told me about, his first EV driving experience, he describes it as surprise.
Yeah.
And I think what we're trying to recreate with these products is that we want, just as he said, we don't want a bulky charger. We want it to match whatever the EV is providing. So we want the feeling to be surprising too.
Yeah.
That is, I guess that is what we are going after.
Yeah. I think that's anything else you want to share? Anything that you think is valuable and is expensive for us to do the research ourselves, please share with us.
Yes, please.
And we have many, we have some audience online that they are
already have questions.
They already have questions, and then they are our partners. And I am sharing with them myself that the findings that we have, the market research result that we have, the pain points of EV owners. You guys would have much more input than us. Anything else? Otherwise, do you want to raise the questions right now, or do you want to?
We can do some questions right now. Let's see whether in the comment section.
Yeah.
It's there actually.
Okay. I will have Kignis to pick the questions, I guess.
So I think there is a very interesting question that is directed to Jordan specifically. It's about female EV buyers. I think that's something that we probably can't really answer. But his question is: female EV buyers prefer premium EVs or practical and lower priced EVs based on your experiences, or based on your stats?
Based my experience, usually the female buyer or female EV, let's say decision maker, they decide to buy a car not specifically from a cost perspective. They want the EV. How do I say like this? It's more like a toy. It's more like a toy, right? To fulfill his needs, and we call it emotional needs. It's not a functional needs, right? Maybe Joe, you buy a car.
Yes.
I need the speed. I need the power. I need more.
I need the look. By the way, for the background of the people in our audience, I am a customer of Joe Lin's company. So take a guess.
You already said everything, I guess.
Let's get back to that to this point that I just speak let's say specifically for my my company's users. They really want to spend a little bit more in the nice looking design. As I just mentioned, our products are really outstanding in terms of nice looking design. Yes. So and we even see a lot of cases, maybe not so positive, but we can still share that. For one of our model, actually who is the kind of benchmark car model as Model 3, or
Mm.
but the cost is high. Let's say the selling price is higher. Just
Mm.
what I mentioned, for like kind of more than 40% of the buyer are females,
Yes,
and
yeah.
we found that the average average age is really low. That's something like 25 or 27.
Really,
Oh.
yeah,
If we really consider about the selling price, right? Which is
yeah.
really hard to imagine
A
this
20
average.
something can afford
Mhm.
that price. Yes,
Exactly.
so
So
it's not about the
which
cost.
means that for really a premium product, which is
Mm.
go beyond the function itself to
Mm.
and provide you more value. We call it emotional value, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the users is more willing to pay for
yeah,
this.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is
And
the
then
key insight we have.
that what you just said reminds me of the first point during our session that you mentioned. The customer does not care about immediate cost of the EV. They do care about the long. I mean the overall.
This is not really a interesting point. It's not a contradiction, right? You
Yeah,
might
no,
guys
it's not
see,
a
hey,
contradiction.
it's not a contradiction. It's really the fast.
Yeah.
They can spend kind of 300,000 RMB. I don't know how
Yeah.
much. Maybe it's still quite high cost to buy a really nice design car. But
Mm.
they also not
Mm.
willing to spend even 1 RMB more to
To charge
to
EV.
charge.
Yeah,
Exactly. This is
that's
very
a good
interesting.
one. Yeah.
I think the same mindset could also apply to our
Yeah.
industry too,
Yeah. Yeah.
regarding the design.
Yeah, I like. I think to add on to this one is we also realize in the market that to be very honest, Rheidon is not low cost charger, but there are so many customers. They come and approach us and push us to launch the new products and everything. It is not because of the cost. It is because of the look, and then it is also because the product they are purchasing from us would enable them to save the cost in their house in the future. Yeah. So a similar concept. Yeah.
Sure. So the next question is directed to you as
Okay.
an expert in the EV charging industry. So in the feedback from your electric vehicle users, what do you think is the most common issue? Also based on your research, they mentioned regarding charging. We discussed about the cost. Apart from the cost.
Apart from the cost, well, I think one thing I would like to share before I answer the question directly. It is also in our research before we develop all the products that we realize the customer the EV owners, let's put it that way, the EV owners, they don't care about the cost, but what they care is they care about the cost and price rate, cost and quality ratio. So they care about whether it's worth for money. So a good design and the functionality, reliability is what they consider value for money. It is not about absolute cost. It's about whether it's value for money. And then the second point for when you talk about EV charging, besides the cost, what else do they care about? To be very honest with you, my friends, whoever asked this question, I have never revealed this answer to anybody else. But since Joe Lin is here, I would like to tell you, it is the look. Okay. It is the design. The customer, they assume a brand would bring in reliability, charging, the capability and everything, but the looks, the design is what they're, paying for.
I think we come back to this all the time. It's really like at this stage, at this era, it's really not only about the functionality.
No,
really
that's the basic.
Of course.
That's the only was what the EV owners assume they're already of it. But having said that, the research we are having, it is already filtered out because we are interviewing EV owners, and for the EV owners who don't care, for the people who don't care about the looks, they won't go and buy a EV. So when we are interviewing the EV owners, we are already interviewing people who pay so much attention to the looks. That's why we come up with the looks and design. as an answer.
Of course, I don't think it's called a bias. It's
Yeah.
just the characteristics of this audience.
This type of audience.
Yes, exactly. Great. I think we had a very good Q&A session. We're going to have another one at the end of the whole panel.
We'll come back to the questions. So feel free to.
I think it's time for us to actually start to talk about our products.
Do we
Jordan,
still have
we
time?
do. Yes, of course we do.
We still have a few minutes, but yeah.
Yes.
Please
Jordan,
stay.
you're welcome to stay.
Please stay.
Please stay.
We need you to answer other questions
Of
later
course,
on.
yes.
Yeah.
And also we've talked about so much about user experience. I think it's a good time for you to,
Take a break,
from
yeah.
your perspective and maybe comment a little bit on our products from your
Or
perspective.
go and take out more market research results and share with us.
For free.
For free.
You just go ahead and I'll stay here and
Yeah.
really start.
Sure.
I think we can start to talk about the exciting one, the power sharing set here. No,
we are not going to share.
Yeah.
The power sharing set, I assume most of us would have seen it. Quickly show you guys. This one would enable us to draw power from your EV, and then there is a power outlet that we can connect to the charger and support the camping function. We are just moving the samples over. Forgive us with this, with this one, with a fast connection, just simply replace it with a quick switch. Then you will enable you to take electricity out from your EV battery. And then the other one is, I think most of us will have seen it also. With another simple change, this charger can become a rescue charger. Charge one EV with the other one. Okay, that's a simple start. And
this is quite interesting. You mean that with this part, so you can charge another EV?
True. Yeah, you can rescue. Yeah, imagine your EV is out of battery, and then you cannot call a tow truck because it's so expensive. Then you call your friend, who provided your friend's EV support this charging function. Then you can use his EV to charge your EV.
Oh, interesting. Really interesting.
Okay. Well, good. Thank you.
And especially for this product, I think we can safely say for the V2V function, it is at least one of the first in the Europe. I still remember last year we received a news report from another mainstream German media reporting on this product specifically, and their editor is still waiting for his product to arrive. He's so eager to try it out.
Well, I have to say, we promised to launch this product as early as possible, but the reality is there are so many technical things we have to really solve it before we send them out. Fortunately, we are able to make an offer to the market right now. It is because in the quick switch, it's a simple quick switch, like Joe Lin explained earlier. The customers are very lazy. They don't want to touch any button on the charger. They just want to enable this walk function whenever they can. So we did a lot of software and technical design. And this quick switch will recognize what kind of function you want the moment you plug it in. There is no need to on our product there are 3 buttons and everything. There is no need to touch any button. The moment you plug it in, the charger will know, oh, you would like to share the electricity out right now, or you would like to rescue the other car. So it's so intuitive. There's no need to do anything. Plug and play. And next one is?
The next one, we can talk about the wall box now.
Yes, I love my wall box.
And I think the wall box itself is not the only point to talk about. We have something exciting to share it with our smart load balancer here.
I think we talk about the wall box, how thin it is, and there is a digital calendar function that's built in, and it comes with our app. By the way, the app is going to be available by end of April in both Android and Apple. Something I would like to emphasize is there are 2 accessories that comes with the wall box. This is for HC. Next one. Okay. Are we able to understand this picture? If not, Jordan, I don't know, but if not, allow me to explain. So the there is a charger here called XC800. You can see as a wall box, and then in our delivery, stop sharing first. In our wall box, because you can see the wall box here. In the delivery of the wall box, for the first year, we are going to give you an accessory called AC500. And this little device will be plugged into your house consumer unit. With that little device will communicate with the wall box directly, enabling two functions. One is load balancer that is commonly available in the market. Load balancer as in if you have other loads in your house that's consuming a lot of energy, it's going to exceed whatever capability you have in your house. The little device will talk to the charger. Hey, lower your charging power. I'm out of I'm out of buffer. So that's load balancer. However, the difference between our load balancer and with other other players in the market is our little device also supports solar exceed function. Are we able to understand what the solar exceed function means? Solar exceed function means this
small accessory here.
Yeah, this small accessory here.
Yeah.
It's a bit too early to show them,
okay.
But so back to that solar exceed, which means during daytime, if you're charging your car at home, of course, only available when you're charging your car at home, your solar panel is generating so much electricity, and your house cannot consume all of them. It will go out to the grid, of course. But at that point, if it's the grid might buy your electricity in a very low price, or they will even charge you because you let the electricity go out to disturb the grid. Our little device wouldn't allow that to happen. Our little device would sense that you are generating so much solar electricity. This little device will talk to the EV charger. Hey, guy, pump up the charging power. I have so much energy. That is what our AC500 is doing. Load balancer, solar exceed enabler. So that's for wall box, and that's available right now, by the way. And in Munich, we are going to launch a newer generation of product or little device that we will communicate with this one. And that little device not only support load balancer, also support solar exceed protection. Furthermore, that little device also support V2X, which means in the future, you can really use your EV to power your home. Well, something I would like to clarify, not many people ask this question. There is a concern on the battery life cycle. There is indeed a concern on the battery life cycle. There are already some reports in the market support this kind of finding, which is while you're driving your EV, it's actually always heavy loads because the EV has to drive very fast and move a heavy EV. It is healthier if your EV is discharging in a lower power, which is our discharging function. Normally, the discharging function does not support 100 kilowatt, 200 kilowatt. It only supports right now is 3.6 to maximum 7. We have only seen 6.9 or 6.8 in the market, which means when you're doing public charging, you are pumping in 100 kilowatt, 120 kilowatt situation, but you're discharging at a smaller pace. That is actually healthier for the battery. We will come back with more findings on that. There are many battery suppliers that are doing research on that. How do you protect the life cycle, the decaying of the EV mileage and everything.
I think what we try to emphasize here is that we really know what our potential users are thinking about. Yep. We know what their concerns, and we're definitely develop our products, try to resolving all of their concerns. So stay tuned. We're gonna have more details on that in the future.
Yep.
So I think that is the two products we really want to demonstrate today. At the end of this whole panel, I think it's really the time for us to.
There are some more things we don't want to disappoint them.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we do have Rekha here. You have a question about whether the charger is wireless. If we understand it correctly, you're asking the small gadgets, the load balancer. You're asking. If you're asking about the charger, then it is not. It's not wireless. We have the cable coming with it.
For this one, you need to have the cable. But if you're talking about the little device I was talking about, yes, when it talks to the charger, it's wireless.
Yes. So I think we answered Rekha's
Yeah,
question.
yeah, the low balance
now.
emitter, that's wireless.
Yes.
Mm.
And let's see whether we have some other questions going on. We have a question about the home inverters and solar system. So the question is, many home inverters and solar systems are not designed to integrate with V2X technology, requiring additional expensive modifications. So how is this problem come across? How do you come across this problem?
If the solar is not connecting to the grid, let's say we realize there are so many people in the market that are doing so. We realize this problem also. The only problem is not V2X, it's because it's not allowed, it is not certified. There is no difference between this electricity and the grid electricity. To enable people to do that, we actually have another device that will help you to break the, turn off the connection to the grid, so that you can support everything in your house with the solar. So that little device is that little thing that can break the or turn off the connection to the grid is coming in Munich also. I'm not sure I addressed this question, but feel free to bring it up to us afterwards.
Of course, we're gonna show our contact information later. If you have any questions or unresolved, please contact us. We're gonna try our best to answer the question. And coming back to Rekha, she's also wondering how long can the distance be. I think he meant the
low balance.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Rekha, thank you for your question. I like your questions. I would like to show off a little bit. We know that this is a problem. That's why we try to do our market research on what does you know how the little device is placed in your consumer unit. The only thing that affects the distance is the material of the consumer unit's cover. So I need your help to understand. I need your help to find out how many of the, let's say if you can give us a percentage, how many of the consumer units cover is made of plastic and how many of them are made of metal, because that will affect my distance. Without the cover, more than 50 meters.
Yes.
But with a plastic cover, around there. With a metal cover, depends on the thickness of the metal.
Hopefully we address this one too. And there's another question about whether the balancer comply with the German standards. So currently we can assure that it's under development, it's under the test, it's certification. And as we mentioned before, we're launching this May in Munich. So we can assure you that we are still in the process, and we're pretty sure when it's ready in the market, that would be comply to anything you need.
I think that brings back to us to explain the background of Rheidon. We are a brand, a subsidiary company under the brand. Leafwood has been in the market for 17 years. We are famous for making our product comply with all sort of local certification. We are not offering anything that's not allowed to the market, so that we can assure.
Yes, we are pretty confident on that.
Mm.
Let's see whether we have any questions on just right now. I think we are good. We're good. So I understand it's coming to the end. Maybe we talk a little bit about, what's your plan in Germany, your expansion plan.
We should tell them because
Yes,
our
for sure.
our dear audience are online. I would like to share with Jobin also. In Munich, we have invited all our partners to have dinners and in all 3 nights, 7, 8, and 9 every night. And some partners will register for the first and second night or the third night. But we're going to tell what we're going to share with you. Not only the product, we're going to tell you an exciting news is that we are going to be the we are going to be the first EV charger company that would enable an AI agent.
Yes.
Are we ready to say so?
Yes, we are ready.
Yeah.
We're ready to say so. It's just
Kignis will share more.
Well, what can I say? I've already shown the invitation here.
Yeah.
Please come and check it out yourself.
Please come and check it out. You will not only see some amazing hardware that we built, you will also see amazing software. We're going to enable you to serve your customer locally.
I think what we really want to emphasize is that we, as you always say, we don't call our distributors distributors.
Yeah.
They're really our partners. We try our best to serve, help you to serve your local audience. So whatever we develop right now is for your benefit. Okay.
Yep. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's see. Just check out the comment section once again. Oh yeah, AI agent. That sounds good. Yes, that sounds good.
Yeah.
That is why I'm openly, publicly inviting, of course, including our existing partners.
Yeah.
You're our priority for sure, but also for other people who are interested in this business and also whatever exciting stuff we're developing, please come and visit us at the Munich exhibition. And if you have any questions as well as any concerns or you want to get into contact with us, we're gonna you can go to our channel and we have our contact information living there. Please send us an email. I think we are ready to answer any questions you have.
And I apologize for the technical issue that we encountered to begin with. And thank you guys, and thank you, Job, and thank you, Kignis, and thank you, Natalia, who is on the other side. She's trying to say hi to us. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you. Really happy. Yeah,
Thank
nice
you.
conversation. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.